Hi, my name is Jen Banning, and I'm an Assistant Director in the Center for Integrated Learning at Earlham. Welcome to our video on the search for internships. As a career advisor, one of the things that I talk with students quite often about is how to find internships. That's something that a lot of people are really concerned with and would love to be able to do internships over the summer break. And they're definitely something that you should be looking into if you're not already. So in this video, I just wanted to take a few minutes and share with you some tips and pointers for how to find these opportunities. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you is our webpage. If you haven't been to our webpage before, it's earlham.edu/careers. This page has all kinds of information about career education here at Earlham. So this is where you can come to schedule an appointment. If you go over here on the right-hand side and log into Simplicity, that's where you can schedule an appointment. You can find information about jobs, graduate school, fellowships. There's really just all kinds of information on this page. So make sure you check it out, explore a little bit. Today, the section I'm going to show you is the section on internships. So if you go over here to students, this is where you'll find a lot of the information on our webpage directed at students. And we have a section called Jobs and Internships. So on here we have some different tabs. You can check those out on your own. This first tab says the search, and it has a little bit of information about how to go about searching for jobs and internships. So this should be a very useful page for you to check out as you start your internship search and you start thinking about where you need to look and what kinds of opportunities you are looking for. So the first thing, just to mention down here, we have a few search tips. In these tips, the first thing we say is to use discretion. Just because the internet has, really made it much easier for employers to connect with potential employees, there have also been organizations that have taken advantage of that fact. Organizations and individuals who try to scam people into providing personal information when they think they're applying for a job, and that's not really what they're doing. So make sure you use discretion. If you see an internship posting and it looks like it's too good to be true, it probably is. Not necessarily, and if you want some help deciding whether or not it's a real opportunity, please visit the career education office and talk to a career advisor. But just use some caution when you're looking at internship postings, especially if they are on Craigslist or some of those other websites where they're not necessarily vetted by a third party. Make sure you tailor your applications. Do not send the same generic cover letter and resume to every organization. That's not going to get you noticed. You need to make sure that every resume and cover letter is tailored to the job that you're applying for. Make the connection for the employer as to why you are the best candidate for this specific job. Also, cast a wide net. Just like when you applied for college, you really need to apply for multiple options, just in case the one you really want doesn't come through. Don't get discouraged. Just keep applying. Talk to friends, family, classmates. Talk to everyone about what you're looking for, because you never know where a job or internship lead could come from. Use your network. Okay, so those are just a few general tips about the search process. But if you go up here, we also have some resources listed here where you can actually find some opportunities. And this first one is our Earlham internship program, the Earlham supported internships. So if I click this link, it's going to take me to earlham.edu/internships. This is our webpage for the Earlham internship program. This is a really great program, and if you haven't checked it out yet, you definitely should. There are two options. There are global partner internships through Earlham. We also have self-designed internships. I'm going to start with global partner. So if you're looking for a global partner internship, you might be wondering what that means. So global partners are organizations around the world, some of them here in Richmond, some of them in Washington, D.C., some of them in China or Japan or other countries. These organizations have a partnership with Earlham, and they have agreed to create preferred pathways for Earlham student interns at their organizations. That means that Earlham applicants are going to receive early or preferential consideration for positions at that organization for summer internships. In some cases, they've promised to actually hold a spot for an Earlham student. That means that you are only competing against other Earlhamites. You're not competing against students from other colleges for these particular internships. So if you scroll down, you can see at the bottom of this page, this is where the current internship opportunities get posted. So you can also see here when the deadline is. This year, the deadline will be January 31st, 2016. So make sure you start looking at some of these internship postings and start applying over the winter break. But you can look by category and see what kinds of internships we have. Here you can see there's one in Pittsburgh, one in Indy, there's one in Japan. Once you find one or two or three or more that look interesting, you can click this link. The link is going to ask you to log into Simplicity. You just log in with your Earlham ID and password, and that's where you'll get to read the full job description, really get a feel for what the internship requires. And that's also where you will upload your resume and cover letter and any other documents that are needed to apply. So for the Earlham Global Partner Internships, you're going to apply through Simplicity. So you can also just log into Simplicity and search for these internships in there if you would like to do a keyword search. So that's an option as well. One thing you should know about these internships, if you apply and you get one of these internships, you will participate in an orientation through the CIL, where you will get some preparatory material to go forth and have a really great summer. You will also do some reflection assignments over the summer just to kind of help you think through what you're experiencing and how this is going to help you long term. And then there will be a presentation of learning in the fall where you come back, make a poster presentation about your experience and what you learned. So that's something to know about the Global Partner Internships. I'm going to go back now and we're going to look at self-designed internships. These internships are new this year, so it's really a really exciting option that we are offering. I don't know of a whole lot of other schools that do something quite on this scale. So what is a self-designed internship? Well, say you look at the Global Partner Internships, but you don't find one that quite meets your needs. Or maybe you find an internship on your own that is just perfect. Maybe it's in your hometown, maybe it's in a place where you have family that you could stay with. Maybe it's just, the perfect opportunity at the perfect organization where you would really like to work after you graduate. Whatever the reason, if you go out and find an internship on your own, something outside of our Global Partner program, you can apply to us and still be a part of the Earlham Internship program. You will just be in this self-designed internship option. So what that means, as a self-designed intern, you will still get to go through orientation, get all that great preparatory material to get ready for the internship. You'll still do the reflection assignments and have access to the career advisors over the summer for support and thinking through your experience. You'll still do all of the program. Also, if the internship that you have found for yourself is unpaid, because unfortunately there are quite a few unpaid internships out there, if your internship is unpaid, you can apply to us and ask for funding for your internship. That's a really, really cool feature of this self-designed option. The idea that you could potentially get funding from Earlham to go work at another organization that you found on your own. So this is something that you should definitely look at, read through it, make sure you understand kind of what the program entails. If you're interested in either the self-designed or the global partner options, make sure you read this about the program page. That will tell you everything that you need to know as far as who's eligible, what is involved, what kinds of expectations there are for being a part of the Earlham Internship program. And that's for both self-designed and global partner. Okay, so that's a really quick crash course on the Earlham Internship program. There are other types of internships out there, though, that are not a part of the Earlham Internship program. They're not a global partner internship, and there are things that you can find on your own. So if you want to go find something on your own, we have some resources for you that you can check out to kind of aid you in that search. So again, if I go back here to students, jobs and internships, here it has a couple more links, our resource toolbox and Simplicity. Simplicity is that system where we post our global partner internships. Also, student employment and work study gets posted in Simplicity. But there are also outside employers who might be really interested in Earlham students and in recruiting Earlham students who can log into Simplicity and post jobs and internships at their organizations. So there are jobs and internships in Simplicity that do not have an affiliation with Earlham. They are just posted by organizations or individuals who would really like to hire an Earlham student. So check out Simplicity. There are all kinds of offerings in there that you can look for. Also, if you visit our resource toolbox, this is a page that just has a ton of links and resources for you to use in searching for internships. So if you scroll down, we actually have a header called Search for Internships and Jobs. There you go. Simplicity is listed there. Going Global is a really cool website. You actually have to log into the Heart in order to access that one. That's why there's not a hyperlink here. But once you log in, it lets you do a search for jobs and internships in all kinds of countries all over the world, both in the US and abroad. So if you're looking for something in another country, that can be a really great resource. Other good internship websites to check out would be indianaintern.net, especially if you're looking for something in Indiana. Idealist, if you would like to work in a nonprofit organization, idealist.org, it can be very useful. It's all nonprofits. The other two really big internship databases are going to be internmatch.com and internships.com. Those are the really, really large, heavily used databases for internships. That means that there are a ton of internships in those databases, but there are also a ton of students using those databases to find those opportunities. So you might find the competition is a little more fierce when you are looking at opportunities in those databases. So my advice would be to kind of start local, start with Simplicity, start with the Earlham Internship Program, and if you don't find what you want there, start to kind of work your way out, talk to your family and friends, look at some of these other larger database websites, and try to find something that would fit your interests and needs. The other thing too is to look at specific organizations where you would like to work. If there's a really cool museum in your hometown, reach out to that museum and ask them if they would be willing to take a summer intern. That's always an opportunity to kind of network and make some connections with people in the field that you're interested in. Just send them a really professional email. You're welcome to come in and talk to a career advisor about those kinds of communications, and just kind of put some feelers out and see if people are willing to take on a little help over the summer. So that's just the basics of searching for internships. As you think about what kind of internships you want to do over the summer, there are some questions that you should consider. So one of those questions is, where am I going to live? That's something that can be really, really difficult for students when they find internships over the summer. You might find a great internship in Washington, D.C., and you're super excited about spending the summer in D.C., but do you know what the cost of living is in D.C.? Do you know if you're going to be able to afford housing? Do you know where even to look for housing or where to find a place to stay? With the Earlham Internship Program, we have a few connections with the places where we commonly have interns, so we can kind of give you a few resources to maybe guide you in looking for housing, but we do not actually have housing to provide. So that is something that, whether you're doing an Earlham Internship Program or something on your own, you're going to have to think about housing. So make sure that that's something that you've at least considered, and that it is going to play a role as you look for internships for the summer. So that was just a real quick crash course on looking for internships. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you would just like to chat with someone about the search process, please feel free to stop in the Center for Integrated Learning and make an appointment with a career advisor. Thanks so much.